Welcome to episode 80 of the Guardian 1 podcast. We record live Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian 1 Network. My name is Remy, and tonight I'm joined by River.
Can you hear me now?
Crimson Warlock.
What's up, everybody?
Jez.
Good.
Agrios.
I do me.
And Sharks.
No more hotel lag.
We are going to be talking about all things Destiny, but first, housekeeping.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening in on the podcast, however it is that you are choosing to listen. Be sure to follow Guardian 1 on Twitter at G1Net. That's G, the number 1, N-E-T. In addition, be sure to check out the Guardian 1 website at guardian1.net. If you want to send us email, you can send it to feedback@guardian1.net. We also have a Bungie.net forums group that's currently at 280 members. We utilize the forums for both comments and feedback, so be sure to join the conversations going on there. Big thank you to all those currently in the Twitch chat. As Remy said at the top of the podcast, you can watch the show live at twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network. We broadcast every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. And if you can't catch the show live, you can always search for the Guardian 1 podcast on iTunes. And you can find us on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Guardian1 Network. Guardian 1 is a proud member of the Guardian Radio Network. So be sure to check out the Guardian Radio Network website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. There you'll find all the different podcasts that's part of the network, including the flagship podcast, Guardian Radio. They broadcast every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Guardian Radio. You can also follow their Twitter account at Guardians of D and their YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardians of D. Other podcasts that are part of the Guardian Radio Network include previous episodes of TTL Party Chat and Robust Radio. There's also a podcast called Ghost and Echoes, which contains a bit of fan fiction and audio versions of the Grimoire cards found within Destiny. Yay! All done.
Hey, we got an updated Hollow River. How about that? That new Hollow River sounds great.
Yeah, right? Right?
It's interactive even. Remy, how did you make an interactive Hollow River?
I was going to say that was going to be the next thing, too.
It was a lot of programming, you know, squeezing out the snark. Really took forever.
Error.
So this is it, River. This is your last episode for the foreseeable future. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
About like why it's the last one? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like you're sick of listening to me, or you're sick of being a part of this Destiny community. You hate everyone in the Destiny community. What's really happening there?
I totally decided to quit Destiny. I'm just not going to play anymore.
I understand that. I wouldn't want to be part of a podcast of something I wasn't interested in anymore either.
Yeah, I would understand that too. But excuse me. But anyways, the real reason that I'm not going to be able to do the podcast is because my wife had actually had her schedule changed recently, as recent as basically this week. So Thursday isn't going to be a good night for me. That's like going to be the only one of the few days that we're going to be able to hang out. Previously it wasn't going to be that bad because she would have, let's see, she works 12-hour shifts, and previously it was like a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday thing, and then she would have like 5 days off, and that would be like our hangout times during those 5 days off. And that would be like every other week. And then the off week would be the days that she would kind of have a shortened rest day schedule to like 3 days or something. So Thursday nights weren't so bad for me to do the podcast then, because like, you're on during the nighttime anyway. So we'll just hang out more often whenever we're both off of work the next week. Now, she's going to be working like every Monday and Friday. So her long day stretch is basically condensed down to like 3 nights every week, or 3 days every week. But since she works the night shift, it's tough for her to kind of switch her schedule back and forth to like a daytime since I work during the day. So we really need to have like some us time, and Thursday nights is going to be that us time. So
Gotcha.
that's really like the real reason right there.
Cool.
What's going on with us right now.
Cool. Yeah. When you told us about it internally, I thought that it was important for our listeners to understand. You know, it sucks. It has really sucked not having you here. And as you can attest, River, there was a time in the beginning of this podcast where when you didn't show up, I just canceled the show. You know,
Ugh.
you have been a rock for me. You have been someone I know that I can lean on. I can. I feel like the beginning of my podcasting was made easier and better because of you. Because I knew that no matter what Destiny question I threw at you, you had an opinion, and it was always a great opinion, even if I disagreed, even if I felt you were wrong. It was always really nice to know that I could just say any old question, and you would be ready to talk about it, and that meant a lot to me. But recently you have not been around at all. I think you've done like 2 podcasts this for 2016. I think that
Yeah,
you
probably.
and and so at this point, I feel like I've moved on from having to have you here for everyone, and you know this happened at some point. You know, in the beginning, like I said, I would just cancel the show. You know what? Technical difficulties. Parentheses not
And
tweeted.
I
River's not going to
remember,
be here.
I remember because I was like, man, I felt so bad too because I was like, we really need to have the show go on, but it's like, everyone has their own comfort bubble, and you eventually you did get to that point, and I may have done that on purpose or not. I can't confirm nor deny. But well, I mean, you guys are great, man. I still listen to the podcast whenever I'm off. I was listening to 79 today, and I feel like that was a damn good podcast. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing great too. I feel really comfortable with this cast, and it does suck though. It does suck not having you here. It does suck, even having to announce that you're not going to be here in the foreseeable future. But check this out. I feel like like when you were younger and you'd break up with a girl because you didn't get to see her as often as you wanted to, and you're like, well, what about my options? I got to check out my options, and then you break up with this girl because you don't get to see her, and then all of a sudden she everywhere you are. I think that
Uh-huh.
that's what this is going to be like. I think that you are announcing now that you are for the foreseeable future not going to be here. Something's going to happen in the next week or 2 weeks, and then you're going to be on all the time. So
Well, we'll see, because I think probably one of the biggest things that would be contributing to that is like if my wife quit her job. But
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
yeah, for the
Remy, you
podcast that would
probably
be
need
great.
to you probably need to talk to Flounderfish about your man crush with River. Just saying.
She knows.
There you go. Remy's
She
a
knows.
pretty good looking guy, man.
She
I don't know.
she oftentimes would tell me that the show had to go on also. So like I'd be like, "Oh man, Flounder, River's not going to be here. I think I'm just going to call out. I'm just going to cancel the show." And she's like, "No, you got to do it." And I'm like, "Too late. I already tweeted it out."
Oh, she knows what's up. That's
Right?
great.
But yeah, it's always great having you here, and it's sad to be seeing you on. But know that this is your podcast still. Like you absolutely 100% helped build this, and it would not be here without your help. And you are welcome on any week. If for any reason you could just decide I want to be on the show this week. I have something that I want to say. Come on, or you can like I've said, you can record some audio if you have something you feel really strongly about. I will play it on the show. I'll read
Mhm.
emails. I will, relay your message. It's when I think of this podcast, I will always think of you, and you are always welcome here. So come back to us soon. Come back to us soon.
I definitely hope that it's sooner than later. Uh, Again, once there's some sort of schedule change for us again, I'll definitely be back if it's possible. I definitely plan on it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks, Remy. Thanks.
You were also saying something about looking into an actual streaming schedule because while
Hmm.
Thursday may not work out at all for you, you are looking at other openings. Do you want to tell the people about that right now?
Yeah, sure. I was thinking about actually getting back into streaming because I felt like at first, whenever I was starting to get into it, it was going to start to get really difficult for me to kind of keep a constant schedule, especially because our baby's starting to grow up and kind of get into things. But now I feel like, yeah, right. Now I feel like that she's a little more independent and she doesn't really need me to kind of watch her every move now. You know what I mean? Because you constantly have these children in your field of view, and you're constantly making sure, man, don't eat that crayon, or
Yeah.
don't mark her this, but
Let go of
things
the
have kind
cat's
of
tail.
you know what I'm saying. And she's overall a good kid, man. Natalie's a little, she's smarter than she looks, that's for sure. Uh, so I'm thinking about hopping back into the streaming now, and probably just whenever because she likes to interrupt me, she likes to try to take the controller away from me, that kind of stuff, And I'm like, you know what, mate, I can just incorporate that. I'll just incorporate that into the show, and she might get some screen time, and it'll probably be enjoyable for everyone.
You know,
So
that's a great
yeah,
idea, and it's actually something that I've been looking at working at too, because you're right, there is that aspect of working it into the show, like this is part of this, like the only thing that I'm waiting for is that Lucy is she's very interested in getting what she wants. And sometimes when she doesn't get what she wants, she goes on this like banshee-esque screaming marathon. And as awesome as it would be to have a cute little girl in the background going like, "Oh, look at this, daddy," or actually when she's really cute, she's paying attention to what I'm doing, and she's like, "Oh, good job, daddy," and like clapping for me, and like,
oh, that's
you know,
sweet.
like she'll come over and tell Agrios that she loves him. Like it's
Oh
really it's
wow.
really cute. It's really cute. And oftentimes she'll ask if the people I'm playing with, "Oh, is that Sharks? Is that Sharks? Is that your friend Sharks? Is that Agrios?" Like she's
That's
really
cool.
really becoming very interactive. But yeah, I don't think anybody is interested in the screaming fests that
No.
sometime manifest themselves.
That's why
So
you got to
Like you
prep that
see the
mute button.
was that Agrios?
I was gonna say, much like you see the similarity, she always used to mistake me for your other friend Tanner at first.
Right, right. Always asking,
Tanner.
"Oh, is that Tanner? Tanner?"
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so it will be great to have you streaming again. Also, this is something that I want to throw out there. I've been putting together this. I want to make a side of G1 that is just playing the game. Like with Guardian 1 Network, what I hoped and have been building for this is like talk shows like this, something that is not scripted per se, but not nobody's coming here for gameplay. We're not playing the games, and I don't want to chase away the people who have come here because this is a place of conversation, a place of ideas, a place for debate. And so I've created G1 Fire Team, which is going to be this. It's a new channel. It's a new Twitter. It's going to be everything new, where just the people in G1 will be able to log in and play. I mean, I have all kinds of ideas for this. I started thinking like it would be really cool if we had somebody, quote unquote, on call. Like imagine for the people out there in G1 who are interested in just standing in the tower and waiting until somebody needs help. Like this could be,
Matrix.
this could be somebody who tweets to this Twitter account saying, "Hey, I'm looking for someone to help me with the Nightfall. I would like." And this is all crazy talk. In my mind, this is all crazy talk because I don't have this kind of time. I would love to have this kind of time. These
Right.
ideas stemmed from what would I do if the whole rest of the day all I had to do was play video games? I would sit in the tower. I would sit in the tower and I would hang out on Twitter or forums and I would look for people to help and I would just run them through. And so thinking about a bunch of people that would be like me, who want to help, like sign up for an hour, like an hour shift or something like this. And again, this is crazy. This idea is crazy. Who wants to sign up for an hour for an hour shift or a 2 hour shift to just hang out and wait for people to need me? That's what I would love to do. I would love to do that, and I know that there's people in G1 like this. Strider already reached out to me and said that this is a great idea. Sign him up. I just haven't pushed forward with this. So if this is something you are thinking, River, is good. Like, think about it even in terms of like, you need to do the nightfall. I'm going to take the next hour and a half to do 3 nightfalls or whatever. You could then stream that on this channel and help people who come up to you. So something to think about.
Sign
Probably
me up. Sign me up.
probably should have approached you with this in the background, but I wanted it to just be out there for everybody who's listening. Mystic Rose says, just G1 question mark, honorary members question mark. I could definitely go for that. If you are somebody who G1 trusts and approves of, that would be great. You would be doing it for G1 as whoever you are, Mystic Rose of the Dames of Destiny. That would be exceptional.
Yeah.
You know what? We should really have an official Friends of G1 list available for people to, like, you know, be a part of, because our clan in particular, I think aside from some other clans, have a lot of members who are like that. There's a lot of people we run with on a regular basis that are really dedicated to another clan, but they run with us.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I think that's the Friends of G1 are a very important part of G1.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this goes back to I'm working on a redesign of the website, or at least a rebooting of the website, where there will be like a staff clan page, you know, people who do specific things, also people who want their gamer tag to be out there, you know, as someone who wants to be a contact point, you know, like, here are the people that you can add. You know, during these time periods, even, like, there's certain people who play certain times. You know, these are all things that I would like to. I'm working on, and that's to say that I'm thinking about it and then taking a note and then not actually making any progress on it because life is hectic. So yeah. Okay, I would like to, at this point, I would like to ask you some questions, River. You know, like we're saying, it's been a long time since you've been on the podcast. A lot of things have happened in between now and then, and I would love your input on many of these. So to start off with, let's go over, what are your overall thoughts on the April update? Was it what you were hoping for? Yes, no. Is it awesome in your blah, blah, blah.
That thing.
Yeah. So what do you think about it?
I think it's I feel like it's pretty incredible, especially because it's a free update. It was there's really no there's a couple of surprises, like with some of the balancing issues that they took in, like PvP stuff, like with the lessening the shields, the revive shields. That was a complete surprise and a very welcome change in my mind. Overall, I think I'm not really. I really think this is what I expected from the update, anyways. I knew it wasn't going to be some sort of huge, you know, expansion type of deal because it's obviously an update. But I feel like it did kind of give us a little bit more than what a lot of people. Well, not maybe not a lot of people. I feel like it gave us more than a little bit more than what I expected, though, especially with the frequency of loot drops, because I heard that you guys were talking about that last podcast, and it is just incredible how much loot we're swimming in right now. It's freaking it's amazing to be playing this game and feeling like you're getting rewarded with a lot of the stuff that you want.
Okay, this is a great point, and something that, yeah, we talked about last week. I didn't have enough time with it under my belt in order to really feel it. Why don't we pass this around right now, starting with, me. I think that the drop rate for the packages and going around the ring for each of those ranks, I think it's been amazing. Before the update, I received one spaceship the entire time that I've played the game. From it was that one that kind of looks like the Birth of History, but it was like this really ugly green and orange. Since the April update, I've got 5 ships dropped to me through packages, and that feels great. It feels insanely great, and the loot drops have been rewarding, either because the piece of gear is awesome or because there's a boost in light level. I feel like I'm slowly but surely making my way up So you say that you feel that it is rewarding. Have you gotten any cool gear, River? And yeah, so continue.
I think I did get some cool gear. What I felt like was cool gear. I got the Taken ship. I don't know if you guys saw me tweet that out. It was from that. You know how people were missing their sterling treasures. I
Uh-huh.
was I was missing mine on PlayStation 4. And I was like, oh, that's disappointing. I gotta wait till Monday. And I managed to just log in long enough to grab that sterling treasure, and it gave me the Taken ship. So I was pretty excited about that because that was something that I really wanted. As far as other gear, I did get some Spectar gear from some of the factions. Got some cool Spectar gear from there. I didn't expect that. I didn't really read too much into some of these updates simply because I wanted to be surprised. And I'm glad I did wait because that felt really good to get something that I didn't expect, and it looked cool, and it had like that chroma deal on it. I
Yeah.
was completely dumbstruck that I managed to get something like that, and it looks cool. It was the new Monarchy boots and new Monarchy helmet, and it just looks cool, and it gave me a boost of light level, so it was like doubly good. I had that feeling, that rewarded feeling once again of getting some cool stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to pass this question to Crimson Warlock, but before I do, I want to know what is your thoughts on the chroma? Is it cheesy or is it cool?
I think it's cool. I really like the whole. I mean, it makes you look like one of those street racing cars, and I've always liked those things. I always wanted to have like neons on my SRT4 neon, which that's gone, by the way. But it's the what's the thing? I think me and Lawn Boy had this conversation about that. I think, or maybe Agrios. It was somebody where we were talking about, maybe it was Agrios about how you can't turn off and on the chroma. Was that you, Agrios?
Yeah, that's actually my main problem with it.
There you go. You can't turn it off and on. There's no on and off switch on it. Which, yeah, you're right, Agrios. That is kind of annoying. And the only way to turn it off is to destroy the chroma.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so you think it's cool?
Oh yeah.
So Crimson Warlock. Now that we've had another week to do this, what do you think about the drop rates, the reward packages? Are you seeing more in game? Are you seeing more from the vendors?
I actually, I've had a pretty tight schedule lately, and I haven't been able to do much other than just the COE on all of my characters to try and get all of them up all at once. Other than that, I haven't really done much. But the few times, like when I do turn in those bounties, it's nice to go around that wheel pretty quick.
Mm.
But like loot drop wise for me, like I have not been seeing these awesome blues that are above 300. Game doesn't want to drop those for me very often. I've seen maybe three. But again, I'm not playing a whole bunch. Overall, I feel like the light leveling system is much more friendly to us now. So I am excited to keep leveling up, and the rewards, getting a reward you know up to 5 light higher than what your average is to help you increase your light is so nice. It really is. It's a good way to keep the carrot on the stick fresh and desirable still.
Jez, what do you think about your trip around the rank wheel? Have you been receiving a lot of goodies, and are you receiving them faster?
Well, I don't really do too many bounties, to be honest. I just kind of forgot about getting them for like several months. So I haven't been getting too many like rep increases. As far as other drops go, I am super not liking my drop rate because I played the entire time, and the only thing that I got out of everything, like the raid, the all both of the PoEs. All I got was the guaranteed loot that you get at the end of completing that scorecard.
Interesting. Did you get anything good?
It was like maybe 2 light level higher. So I went from like I went from just under uh just under the 320 to 320.
Got it.
That's it.
I tell you what, it's the climb to 320 is rough. It gets easier. Like going from 300 to 310 is really easy. Going from 310 to 320 is rough. Once you get past 320, I've seen so much stuff dropping. It's crazy. Agrios, what about you? Ranking up and also drop rates. What do you think about these things?
So far so good. I don't have many complaints myself personally. I think as far as the drop rates go, they've done a lot to improve that. There's a lot more times where you get that feeling of well, this is actually useful when you get something. Oh, FYI, Crimson, as far as the blues turning into like above 300 blues, uh, it's not so much the engrams that you're decrypting at the cryptarch, but the blues that are dropping as end mission rewards for like challenge velders and crucible matches, things like that. But
Those are still 280 for me. Every single one.
Shaft there too. But
I was going to say that the blue engrams will only decrypt up to 310, and I've found that it's probably
That's not right.
No,
Can-
that is. I'm pretty
No.
sure that's correct.
I have blues on me that are higher than that. Don't tell me that's right.
No, they
No,
drop.
you're talking about the engrams that decrypt. You can get blues for end match rewards that are higher than that, but I don't think you'll get anything that cryptarch decrypts.
Yeah, the blue. There can be blues with a higher than 310 rating, but the cryptarch won't decrypt
It
anything.
won't give them to you. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I found
You thought you did something different, right?
right that I found that out actually with you guys when we ran that Nightfall. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a blue at 314. I only thought they dropped to 310, and you guys are like, nope, they drop it at higher than that, and I was way excited. So that's where where you were thinking that.
As far as my opinion on the chroma and stuff like that, I mentioned before how I didn't like the fact that you couldn't turn it off, because some of those armor pieces, they really stand out. And if you're running with a crowd of people in PvP and someone's looking to shoot someone with your team down, they're going to go to the one that stands out the most. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But aside from that, it doesn't excite me at all, unfortunately. As cool as it looks, I don't find it exciting in my Destiny experience. Why? Because anybody with a couple bucks can just go pay money until they can look like that. I'm excited about. I'm excited about my Hood of Malak. I got a really good intellect discipline roll on a Hood of Malak from that drops from the new raid the new strike for the Hunter, and I really like that. I rock that right away. But I haven't even actually opened a Sterling package yet.
Interesting. And they just keep rolling in. Are you putting them in your storage?
Yeah, they're in my vault right now.
Interesting. Yeah,
part of my, aside from me not being excited about getting the pieces, is that I do have a lot in my inventory still at the moment, juggling stuff around, trying to find my right build to get up to a tier 11 or tier 12 characters going, that have full intellect, full discipline, and 2 bars of strength, for instance. So I have a lot of pieces I'm kind of juggling around doing that, and none of these things coming from the Sterling packages are going to help to build my character. What I'm going to do potentially is just, in order to save space, keep them in the packages, then pop them open once I kind of have my shit together, so to speak, with my characters, and then I can infuse the good pieces I have into them and such.
Got it. Yeah, I haven't turned on any armor chroma yet, because I wanted to kind of have a full set of chroma going. Like I didn't want to just have some arms glowing. Like I feel like that would look a little weird. I did pop one on a heavy machine gun that I got from Varix, and it looks really cool in the screen, but it doesn't really show up in the match. Like I barely noticed it. And that kind of bothered me.
That wasn't on Xbox 360, was it?
No, that was on PlayStation.
Okay.
Or no, wait. Maybe it was on...
Oh.
No,
I think your heavy machine gun on PlayStation, because I've seen it. Now, what I agree with Remy there is that as far as the chroma pieces go, if you're comparing them to each other, the Queen's weapons chroma application, I guess is the way to put it, isn't is not near as impressive as the fallen weapons or the armor pieces. In my opinion, they could have done a little more with that for the resource that you're using to make it cool, you know?
Yeah.
I still think it's dumb that chroma is random and you have to have, all 4 of them in your inventory if you want to use them. Like, I really wish chroma was almost like a medallion that wasn't on your person and you just collected chroma, and to activate a color, you used just one chroma and not a specific color, especially because the reroll is random. It really
Well,
is kind of annoying
you
that
also
way
know
for me.
I mean, you also know it burns it too, right? Like if you re-roll it, it destroys that chroma. So you can't just carry
Yes.
one of each color if you want to change. It's gone once you compute. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why it has to take up a slot in my inventory either. Like, why can't it just be like our metals and just there, and it ticks up every time you get chroma, but it's not. It doesn't have to be color specific. It just
Oh,
requires
I get
one
you.
chroma to activate. That's what
Just
I
a
wish would
chroma
happen with this
energy
system.
resource that would just stack in your inventory, just like helium filaments or anything else.
No, I'd even just rather it not count. Just like how our marks are, they're not a part of the
Oh, right.
inventory.
Okay. So like a
Just have
glimmer
them right
resource.
there, and just have it
Gotcha.
be called chroma. Like, that's what
Gotcha.
I think the system could be improved that way.
Right, like a currency.
Mystic Rose says chroma is lousy camo, and that's hilarious. That makes me laugh very, very deep. um, all right, Sharks, what do you think about the reward system? Both post game drops and also going around the rank wheel. Are you going faster around the rank wheel, and do you feel that what you get from those packages are better?
Okay, well, as everybody know, I have been gone. I have been in a hotel, and I haven't been playing very much because the Wi-Fi internet sucked. But I played enough to realize that everything ranks around super, super fast. The amount of drops are unbelievable. It's like it's pouring down rain, gear, guns, everything. I was kinda surprised, but then again, I was not kind of surprised because, like I said, last week was that when I first logged on 2 days into this new update, I saw level 335 in my tower. So I figured there must be a way to do it pretty fast, and it is. It's stuff is dropping like candy. It's awesome. It's actually kind of bad because I had told everybody that I had cleaned out my vault. I had made all this room. I had just, got rid of everything. My vault at the moment is so jam packed full of crap because I don't know if this gun's better. I don't know if I like that armor. I'm not sure what I want to use to infuse or actually keep. So yeah, it's great. It's awesome. I love it. Very very surprised how easy it is for me to get stuff. RNG is working really good for me. But it's different with everybody. So we've already heard people in chat right now saying that it's not working for them at all. So yeah, it's for me. It's shining on me. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm very impressed with it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. River, have you and will you buy any Sterling packages?
With my own money?
Yes, actual dollars.
Okay, no, I haven't. But I did buy some silver, and it was from an Xbox gift card that I got from Bing for free. So I did buy like $10 worth, and it's like I was pretty at first whenever I heard about the news, because I think I was doing something or rather. I think I was at work and we were actually kind of busy at the time. I think I was pretty angry about the armor being offered up to be purchased. Um, I'm over it now. Like it's not as big a deal as I was initially thinking. And sure, maybe whoever spends the hundreds or thousands of dollars that they want to reroll their armor, maybe they'll get it, and maybe I'll see them in PvP. However, it is very unlikely, and I still feel like I'll sit them down.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what about vault space, River? Were you full before the update?
I was.
And are you full now?
Nope. They gave me an extra page. I'm good. My vault space, it'll. I remember on the podcast, I was like, man, how do you guys have a full vault? I still have so much space. And as time progressed after the Taken King, and we're in what, April now since the Taken King. My vault has like, I was at the brim with freaking equipment. So I'm really happy that they gave us this extra page, but I'm still on that same pace. Like, I'm not going to be able to fill up this vault for quite some time because I just delete stuff if it's not going to be any good, especially with this new infusion system. Yeah. Freaking, if I don't like this piece and it's higher light level, freaking infuse it.
Yeah, that's what I did with my Hood of Malik. I didn't like the roll on it, and it's actually a really gross looking piece. Like, it's cool. I'm glad that I got it. But I decided that my Iron Companion Hunter helmet was a much better roll and a much better use of that light level. And the way the light level is 1-to-1 now, it's so much easier. Like, I feel like I liked the system before. Okay, you got a certain amount of light out of each piece. But what that started to do was just jam up all of the space that I had, like, well, here's a 320 piece I'm not going to use. I don't need for any of these characters, but if I use it right now, I'm only going to get, 7 points out of that. Like,
same problem.
At this point, I can just decide right then and there, is this worth anything? And on top of that, it saves me from trying to hoard up really high pieces, and it saves me from trying to hoard up like middle pieces. Like, I've been getting a bunch of 305s, a bunch of 305s and a bunch of 307s that previously I would have kept because that's the middle ground between some of these pieces. And at this point, all of the weapons that I really want to use, that I plan on using, they're all at least that high, and so I can just get rid of it. I can just move on. Like, it's doubly good as far as that concerned.
It's a lot more fun now, but another angle to this is that previously you may have gotten a drop that cosmetically for that spot was just as okay of whatever you had there, and maybe once you rolled it up, it would have come out to be like a point higher in Intellect Discipline, and one of its perks was just a little bit better than the one you had. But because it's 265 and you're at 320, oh my god, I'm never going to take the time to infuse the whole way up for one more point of intellect and a slightly better perk. So it got scrapped. But now, totally feasible. So it makes the whole system a lot more fun. Now, one downside to the new infusion system that I've noticed, and I think it's a smaller percentage than what used to happen before just because of the nature of the system, but there are a few unlucky individuals. And I think from the way Jez described his drops, he might have fell into this category a little bit. He can confirm or whatever after I explain.
That it's basically not worth infusing because it's such a small increase.
Well, there could be that, or what I was actually going to say was some people, it's similar to the Vault of Glass issue where people were stuck at Forever 29 because the only piece they needed to turn 30 were gauntlets, but they just never would get the gauntlets dropped. Well, now you could be in a situation where you're at, I'm just going to make up numbers here, 320 light. Now you have a variety of low gear and high gear above and below 320 to make that up. Maybe your secondary weapon and your gauntlets are your two highest pieces. You have a 328 secondary and a 328 gauntlets, but you're only sitting at 320. Well, the game's going to award you higher than your 320 light level by about 1 to 6. The problem is if you get unlucky and it keeps giving you your 324, 325 drops for your secondary and for your gauntlets, which are already above that, you're never going to progress. Now, I think the odds of that happening to you are much lower than they were with, say, the Vault of Glass Forever 29 situation, but there are some unfortunate individuals that seem to be running into that.
Just really quick, everyone listening right now, great news from Guardian 1 member Bobcat. He's been having to go get chemotherapy done, and he's just found out that he doesn't have to do any chemo treatments for now. And that's awesome because, like I said
Yay.
previously, it sucks when what is going to help you can do so much damage to you. And it's really great to hear, Bobcat, that's where you are right now. So congratulations. We should have you on the show soon. Bobcat kicks a lot of ass. I don't know if you guys know this. He helped me get my Thorn. Someone's playing Legend of Zelda.
Final
That's
Fantasy
Final
VII
Fantasy.
victory fanfare.
Playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 has led me to hear that a lot.
What is going on over there, River?
No, that's my phone. I use my phone to watch the chat. Oh crap!
Someone's playing Legend of Zelda.
I was gonna say, he's just doing a continuous congratulations to our friends.
That's awesome. I wish I hadn't talked over it now.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So last week, River, we were talking about. I want Bungie to put a system into place where there is a reason to get to light level 335, the highest light level we can get to right now. I wanted there to be a reason other than getting to light level 335, because previously, and I'm really glad this was brought up last week, is that what we were looking at was we would want to get to the highest light level because we knew there was another update coming out, like another downloadable content, and we were going to want to be prepared for when that happened. At this point, because we don't know, there is no specifics. Like, we know there's going to be an update, but it's not like in year one where it's, well, I've already purchased these updates. This is DLC. This is a real change to the world. This is a real change to the economy. Um, and I offered up the example of like a faction war that only people light level 335 could take part in. This would be something that it didn't raise your light level. It didn't offer you anything other than something that you could hold close to your heart. Some reason for you to push to light level 335 in addition to being light level 335. And I want to know what your take is on that. Is there an activity that you could think that would be really cool to take place in? Is there a reward system, something that that's not a weapon, that's not a piece of armor, not something that's going to give you a tactical advantage, but something, the closest thing I can think of that's in game right now is an emblem. Right now for trials, it's that cat emblem. And that's cool. That's something that doesn't change the game. It's just something that you've earned for going there. But I want more than that. Like, I want there to be another layer of a reason to get to 335. Do you have an example of this?
Okay, so a couple things here. You know how previously you said that you really like how I have an answer for everything?
Yeah.
I really don't this time. I really have no like activity that I thought of or anything like that as far as getting to max light level 335.
Uh-huh.
Like, I have no idea. And whenever I was listening to last week's podcast, everybody on the panel, you guys are freaking like masterminds or something, because I'm serious, you guys had some really stellar ideas. I really liked Agrios metal system. That was you, right,
Yes.
Agrios? Hey, Agrios.
The what? The metal
The
system?
yeah, the metal system. That was you, right?
It was.
Oh,
It was
right,
Agrios, yes.
no,
Okay.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
no,
last week.
I remember now.
Dude.
Just the word metal didn't trigger it. I was thinking metals as in like resources,
Some sort of
like
collectible.
that you would have metals that you'd mine or something at first.
Yeah,
but
man,
then, like,
that was great, because I was thinking like, man, if you, like you said, if you could have like a year one, I participated in Iron Banner 1. I mean, that would be an awesome thing to have to be able to show to everybody, Or I defeated Alta Glass hard mode week 1. That would be something that nobody else could really have if they didn't really, weren't able to collect it. And I like the aspect where you can't possibly collect everything because it'll help you strive for that. I mean, you went over that last week. It was a great idea. And Crimson's was it the personal exotic system
Oh man, that was
or
so good.
legendary weapon? Yeah, that was a really good one. Faction Wars was a great one. I can't remember what everybody else said. Those ones really stood out to me though, and I just listened to it like an hour or two ago. I still hadn't even finished the podcast yet because my drive to work and back doesn't give me enough time since we have such a long podcast.
Right. Really long
But
podcast.
but that's point one. Point number two is I feel like and I wanted to talk about this because I was listening to the podcast last week and you guys were seriously moping about how quick it was to get to 335 and how and how like, man, that really takes a lot of the fun out of it.
I bet
And
I wasn't.
Thanks, Jazz. And whenever I was done with that portion, I sent you guys like an internal message. I say, you guys are all selfish. And, I'm just jacking around with you. But I think this is a really good thing for all of our players to get to max level 335 in such an easy fashion, because now you'll have a lot of people who didn't really have an opportunity to get to max light level 320 so easily before. Like, this is a great opportunity for the more casual players to get to that max light level. And you know what they're going to be able to do whenever they get to max light level is build up that confidence. Now, you know what? I'm as powerful as I can get. Let me go try to do the raid for the first time. And I think this is a really good opportunity for folks like us, like in Guardian 1, to take these new players who haven't been this powerful before and take them on their first raid. Let's go take them, I mean, they're going to just waylay it. They're going to trash it. It's going to be great. And it's a really good feeling to take some of these people through their first raid. Like me and, I know me and Lomboy and Grey Ghost and Creamy, we took one of our buddies, Conspiracy. He's a year 1 Guardian, and he's never been through a raid, man. I could not believe it. And we took him through Taken King the other week, and it felt so good. It was so good to freaking help this guy out because he's been playing for so long, but he's never really done the raid, man.
Right. What's interesting about that is it was him and Lawn Boy helped me raise my ranks the week before last. And what's crazy about him not having done the raid is that he's a really good player. Like,
yeah,
he's out there really kicking the darkness in the ass. And and it always occurred to me that maybe these people who hadn't done the raid yet is because they weren't confident in their ability to kill. Like they weren't really great at taking down bad guys, and he is a really great player. So
you can tell he's experienced, right?
Yeah,
that he's been playing for a while.
Absolutely. So that's a lot of fun. I'm glad that you guys got to take him through. Because that's a great feeling, and this is one of those things about Destiny. It's one of those things about Destiny that can't be said enough, and it can't be realized enough. And it's something that a ton of people take for granted, and a ton of people haven't even touched yet. And that is, if you have other people to do these activities with, you get them done, and then they're done, and you feel accomplished. Even me, someone I've played a ton of Destiny. I've put thousands of hours into Destiny. And even I ran a Nightfall with Sharks and Agrios, and just getting it done felt so good. Like, oh man, I accomplished that. We did this. Like, it feels great. And to know that there's still people out there, even as good as Conspiracy, who haven't gone through raids yet. It's mind blowing. There's so many opportunities for us individually and as a group to help each other out, help raise up these other Guardians who have yet to do those things.
Hey, Remy, last night I had the opportunity to take someone through Crota. This was kind of a kindergarten. She'd just gotten the game in February, and last night doing Crota, um, it was just three of us to start, and then once we were actually at Crota, we were actually able to pull in three other people, and it was like the first time I ever got a taste of why we need old content to be relevant again. Like it was just the nostalgia feeling was fun. I mean, we even got Crota to like lag. He was like 3 seconds behind all of us.
Huh.
And so our sword bearer, we're like,
Wow.
go, he's down, he's down, he's down. And the sword bearer's like, he's still standing for me. It was classic. It was just great that this guardian who was new, wanted to do the raid, got to feel, the original experience of laggy Crota and all of that goodness there. And I really now have to say, Bungie, you've got to give us updated raids. Just update the loot table and let us enjoy that again, because it was a lot of fun to go back and kill Crota and show him who's boss.
There's still people out there like me who still don't have their Mythoclast. So they don't really need to update their
River
loot
2.
table necessarily. So you don't have a Mythoclast either?
I sure don't, man.
Man. It's crazy. I want it so bad. I
Me
know
too.
I know it's worthless. And I know that I didn't, I especially didn't get to play with it while it was, super overpowered.
Freaking King of the Hill, man. It
Right.
was destroying.
Right. And I've seen it. I've been on the other end of it and thought, man, what the hell is up with that thing? But yeah, I just want it. I just want to have it. I need to earn it. So I get what you're saying, Crimson Warlock. It would be cool to have updated tables. Like it would, what would be really awesome is what if they didn't even update the loot table? They just updated like the gear, so you could get. Well, no, but then that takes away the whole year one thing. Being different from year two, like because everybody would then go back to using Vision of Confluence. I know I would.
Well, here's a question for you. Now, what do you think? Do you think that they would revamp those old raids once we drop next last generation consoles, or no?
Revamp it? What do you mean?
Revamp it, adding more assets to it, and updating the loot table and changing up the mechanics a little bit. Because if that's something that they plan to do already, just not maybe for Destiny 1, that it could be
So
a
you
good
mean
place
you
for it to
think-
come back in Destiny 2.
I was just going to say, so you think we're going to see these in asking if we're going to see the same content brought forward into the sequel game that's going to be next gen only?
It's really dependent on what kind of vision they have for this thing. Because, I mean, this is only the first game, and we've had all these expansions come out that are just adding on to the core game. But if this is going to be a full sequel, who knows if it's going to be like an additional thing that's going to be added on to Destiny 1, or if it's going to be its own release with its own separate gameplay. So it's really up to them.
Do you think Destiny 2 is going to be on PlayStation 4.5 or PlayStation 4?
You know what? I'm tired of those freaking 4.5 Xbox 1.5 rumors. It's so stupid.
Is
They're
it
not
a rumor?
rumors.
They're still.
PlayStation 1 is coming.
Ooh.
The 4.5.
So what you're telling me is that they're gonna, if I buy myself a PlayStation, like when is it coming out? When is it coming out? You know?
That we don't know that much
Yeah,
yet. We just
Say it comes out in
yet.
fall.
Yeah,
Say
but
it
they
comes out in
released.
fall.
Nah, but they released the specs.
It's
It
not
doesn't
that
make a
soon.
difference.
This is
Yeah.
like next.
Say it comes out in fall, right? And I bought my PlayStation last week. How burned do you think I would feel?
Well, so there was an article today that was released that kind of talked about the 4.5, and it said that Sony has mandated developers to develop kind of
Two different modes.
cross-platform. 4.5 mode that supports extra stuff, but
Oh,
everything has to be
gosh.
supported on the original PlayStation 4.
So they're required to do both.
No, they said what
No,
it was is
the
that
4.5 is optional.
the
Yeah.
4.
I understand.
It's like
No, but
PC.
the
It's like a
4.5
PC.
stuff won't have anything to do with games. They've already said that. They said everything that you would get that's extra on the 4.5 would be stuff for like videos and streaming and yada yada yada. It'd have nothing to do with a game.
I don't. I'd like to. I thought no, that's not what I understood at all. I understood it's going to be graphically better for the games and stuff too. Like from what I understood was that. But what we're saying is it's going to be like a PC. Whereas when the game comes out, and if your computer's awesome, you can set everything on high. But if your computer's not, you set it all on medium. Well, the PlayStation 4 people will be using the medium settings, and the PlayStation 4.5 people will be using the high settings. The game's still going to be there and the same, but the people with 4.5 are going to get a better visual experience.
You're gonna get a better everything, and I just dropped $300 on my PlayStation 4 last week.
So not only that, but they're going to give us ample notice. We're going to know the 4.5 is coming like more than a week in advance of it coming. There's going to be pre-orders months in advance.
Yeah,
$300, man.
And I will wait several months if I do get one, just so I don't have the same thing that happened with my PlayStation.
You know how hard it would be to really tell my wife, you know what, I want that PS4K. But I just bought you the Destiny console. I just bought you Destiny PS4.
Just
Well, I'm
start
sorry,
putting
babe.
away $20 per paycheck starting now.
Gosh. That would be a nightmare. I would be stuck.
Yeah.
See, I'm on the other side. I'm a fan of the idea. I like the fact that they're going to update consoles, do a partial update on consoles partway through, because console life cycle is too long. The PC starts to vastly outclass the consoles as far as appearance and stuff very, very quickly, and gameplay, frames per second, all that sort of stuff. But the consoles are a much safer environment. You don't have the hackers and things to deal with that you do on PC. So a lot of people prefer the consoles, even though they may have substandard performance. So I think the idea of providing for people who want to put a little more money into it, an upgraded console for performance only, functionally, it'll still be the same. You're still going to get the same games on the PlayStation 4 or 4.5. But if you want to dump a little bit more money, you can have a cooler experience.
How long ago did these new consoles come out? Was that 2014? 2013?
I think it was
13 for the PlayStation.
End of 2013.
End of 13,
Okay, it's
right?
2013. So, like what, $300 every 3-4
3 years?
years?
Yeah, that's about right.
Sounds terrible.
I'm good with that.
Lawn
What-
Boy says that your wife would give you a timeout, and I think that's probably fair.
I think that's fair too.
I think I'll take
Yeah.
a timeout for PlayStation 4.5.
No, it's worse than that. You don't want a timeout in this house.
Hilarious. Okay, why don't we get back to the matter at hand? So cool. After everybody said their ideas for the end game 335 content river, I was really blown away as well. Sharks,
Mhm.
what was your idea?
For Endgame, get an emblem that you could show people.
An emblem that you could show people. Jez, what was your idea?
I have no idea. Maybe was that when I said about holiday bosses or something?
Oh,
Yes,
that is
holiday
what-
bosses.
holiday
that's right.
bosses, yeah.
Yeah, the holiday armors.
Yeah, all my ideas are about getting new things that look better, but not necessarily have any other reason to get. Just kind of for look and status. That way, everyone can flare however they want.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so why don't we move on? I wanted to get to this before we went anywhere else. Sharks, you wanted to say something about the lag that you experienced in the hotel, and additionally, I'm wondering how that compares to the lag that you've faced at home. Is that the story that you're going to tell us?
Yeah, so we all play, whatever PvP, or I mean, it even happens when we're playing in PvE sometimes. But we all complain about PvP and lag. And I have to say, for all those people out there that have lag, I now feel sorry for them, because lag, normal lag, real lag, does not help anybody that is experiencing it on their end. Now that's completely different than what we're talking about, lag switching. But we don't know if I'm sure that 90% of the people that have lag are not lag switchers. They just happen to have really bad connections. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I mean, you sit there and you shoot at things, or you're jumping around, or everything's jumping around on your screen, and you get booted from games left, right, and center. You don't get rewards dropped for you because you leave the game early because of this. It's absolutely ridiculous. My wife, she listens to me. I complain about our internet. I say, oh, it's so slow and all this stuff. And it's not slow. I tweeted out for our podcast. I took a picture. I did a test when I got home, because I just wanted to see, it's not my PlayStation that's going. It was the internet. And I had 57 megabytes per second and 3.1 megabytes per second for upload. And when I was in the hotel, I had 3.1 megabytes per second download and 700 kilobytes per second upload.
Wow.
So, my internet doesn't suck. That hotel internet sucked. And you guys can account for how bad it was. I couldn't hear you guys, or you guys couldn't hear me. I was jumping around on your screens too when we go to revive stuff, or Maynard James and Agros and we were doing a COE, and I could hear them. They couldn't hear me, and they both went down. And I remember hearing Agros say, "Oh yeah, all of the enemies are just frozen. You're shooting at them, you can't shoot them, but they're getting damage taken to them. Oh, I'm dead. Well, Sharks is teleporting all over the place. Oh, he's reviving me. It's really, for all of you people out there that suffer from lag, I really, really feel sorry for you now. I'm not mad at you at all anymore. Hopefully you'll be able to sort out your lag and get it better, because it's not fun to play with lag.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy, Sharks. It's nice to hear you. It's nice to hear you bury the hatchet with all the people that have lag. Also, for those of you listening, that Maynard James, yes, he is the singer of Tool. Yes, he is in Guardian 1. Don't know how we snagged that one, but he's a cool guy, very helpful. Was trying to help me get my Mythoclast, but I'm like helpless. Like sometimes I think that if you were to be able to look at the way Bungie has Destiny set up, there's just some things some people are never going to get. And I feel like the Mythoclast is that for me. And now you could go to my profile and you could see that I've only completed Vault of Glass a handful of times. But really, where's my damn Mythoclast? That's all I want to know. So yeah. Yes, Stone Maynard is in our clan. Isn't that awesome?
Wait, you weren't joking?
Nope.
No, totally.
No way.
Did not listen
He
to
comes to our
Reggie.
chat.
My
He comes
God.
to our chat all the time during.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm like, because I've played with Maynard James a few times, and I just never knew.
Right?
That's pretty cool, man.
Right. So, also, friendly reminder, if you are in Guardian 1 and your clan tag has disappeared, please go to bungie.net and click repair tag under the settings. Even mine disappeared, and it was I don't know, I felt distraught looking at my naked gamer profile thing there. I thought, have I given this up to somebody else? Like it's not showing up, and now I have to go and I have to beat up. I have to go and beat up whoever has taken this. I have to 1v1 them in order to get the clan back. So yeah. River, is there anything else that you have been wanting to talk about over the last couple of weeks that you haven't been on? Anything else that you wanted to make sure that we talked about before we moved on to the news?
Yeah, dude. Maynard's got his own Wikipedia page.
Yeah, right? May 2nd marks 10 years since Tool's last album, and I'm gonna try and talk him into not making it 11 before the next one comes out.
No, he's gonna do it just for you, buddy.
um,
As far as anything that I wanted to talk about, I mean, not off the top of my head, because I listen to the podcast in the car, right? I really can't write down notes, so it's like it's just gonna be me yelling at you guys whenever I'm in my car. That's pretty much it.
I like it, and feel free to send your notes in. Also, really quickly,
we could have a regular segment, driving to work with River.
I'll put up my freaking iPhone up on the dash, and I'll just talk. But see, I use my phone whenever I listen to the podcast too, so it has to do one or the other.
Damn, I forgot what I was just gonna say. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Well, whatever. Moving on.
Hey, good job.
Agrios, what you got?
What do I got indeed? All right, so we start off this week with an announcement about the new Iron Banner. Begins Tuesday, April 26th, 10 a.m. Pacific, and ends Tuesday, May 2nd, at 2 a.m. Pacific. This time it's Clash. Designer Jeremiah Pichel joined us to let us know about what's changing. Expect to see more Iron Banner gear next week instead of legendary engrams. Iron Banner gear will now have a chance to drop every match you play. No more waiting until rank 2. He also goes on to say that some of you were adamant that your reward experience wasn't consistent with your fellow Guardians. We did some digging and uncovered a reward logic issue that blocks some of your rewards prior to rank 5 in Iron Banner. That issue was resolved in the April update. It goes on to also list the actual changes in detail. Lord Saladin's inventory has been updated with items at ranks 3 to 5, some with rerolled perks. Rank package rewards have been adjusted, increased rank 3 package artifact to 320 light, and increased the rank 5 package ghost to 320 light. The rank 5 packages can now reward items from the current event. The Iron Banner armor and weapons can now be earned at rank 0 at the end of activity. They removed legendary engrams from the possible end of activity rewards list, creating a greater chance to receive Iron Banner specific items. The Iron Denomination daily bounty now requires completing a match with a personal score of 1500 instead of winning a match with 2500. The Iron Versatility bounty now only requires 7 heavy weapons kills to complete. They fixed an issue where players below rank 5 could roll a reward they were ineligible for, resulting in no reward being given. I think this is what they're referring to at the top, the logic issue. And that's interesting reasoning behind what, so apparently the game was rolling the reward first. And if it came up the rank 5 reward, then it was checking and saying, oh, they can't have it, and then just not giving a replacement. And they fixed an issue where the Iron Banner ship was missing part of its frame, which has been that way. I believe they're talking about the first one, and it's been that way since the game is launched. So it'll be interesting to see that one corrected. Are you guys excited about this Iron Banner? They list the pictures of the items, and this time it looks like they're going to be bringing back the class items. I know some people were missing class items, which was unfortunate previously, and it also shows the PlayStation exclusive armor is the class items this time, which I regrettably missed out on the first time. They also are going to have the boots available, and the guns for sale are going to be the auto rifle and the rocket launcher. Are you guys excited about this, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Super excited those class items are coming back. It's I took them for granted when they were showing up every week. And at first I started small. I was just really working on my hunter. I feel really close with my hunter. Like I feel like the Night Stalker specifically speaks to how I want to play, and what I want to do. And Keen Scout is a godly ability. Like would I like to be able to shade step? Certainly. Is the other option on there cool? More than likely. But when I think about it, Keen Scout is like, it's like third eye to the nth degree, like Like, and some people apparently don't notice when they're being hunted. It shows up like a little status effect in the lower left-hand corner, and they just let me pick them off right as they walk around the corner. Like it's amazing. At some point, though, I started to branch out in my Iron Bannering, and I was like, oh, this next Iron Banner, I'll pick up the class items, and I'll really start moving through these other characters as well. And then they didn't show up, and they didn't show up, and then they didn't show up, and so it's been really frustrating, not having that little bit of extra step up. And so I'm really, really excited. Those class items are coming back. I didn't even know that there was an auto rifle called the Hatchet until I was talking to my friend Tanner like a couple weeks ago. I asked him what his go-to weapon was, just kind of catching up with him in his Destiny experience. And he's like, oh, I'm using the Hatchet. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's an Iron Banner auto rifle. And I'm like, what is that? And like I feel like I'm up to date with Destiny, but some things are just, like no one ever sat me down and showed this to me. Has it ever been a reward before, you guys?
Oh yeah, that's why he's got it.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say it'd be hard for Tanner to have it otherwise.
No,
Yeah.
I mean not as a drop. I mean, has he sold it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I just must not have been paying attention that
I
week.
think it's
because,
one of the first Iron Banners of Taken King.
Mhm.
yeah.
The first or second one.
that must have been in the time frame when I just wasn't really paying attention to it very, very strongly, because I'm excited to check it out now. I'm excited to look for these roles. All of these activity changes sound really great. And how frustrating must it be to all the people who, instead of getting a rank 5 reward, got nothing? I kind of feel like that was what happened to me. I tweeted out a picture from this last Iron Banner, or maybe it was the Iron Banner before the last, and every single person on my team got either the rocket launcher or the sniper rifle, and I got nothing. Every single one of them got a purple, and I got nothing, and it was super frustrating. But yeah, class items coming back is going to be great. This is a step that I've been waiting for. Additionally, I want to thank Bungie for putting a bunch of really crap rolls at all the vendors in the tower, because I had 200 marks saved up to buy some cool gear. And when I found that there wasn't but maybe 2 or 3 that were even kind of worth getting, I was sad that I did not spend those marks on the Vanguard Apple of Discord before the changeover, because that had full auto and third eye, 2 of my very favorite things. And so now, in addition to having all of these marks still, I also have all of those Iron Banner bounties that I've been sitting on that have marks with them. So I'm going to be ranking up super fast, and it sounds like the loot drops are going to be even better. Very excited that they've changed legendary engrams into Iron Banner gear. This all sounds like really great changes. River, will you be playing this Iron Banner? Are you looking forward to this? And are these changes good, bad, or other? River is gone. River is gone, and we must not speak of him again. Crimson Warlock, what do you think about these changes?
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to do Iron Banner. The last 2, I think I've kind of skipped out on, and so I'm ready to get back in. I just wish I was above 320 light, but I'm not yet. So we'll see how frustrated I get feeling that these 330 guys are beating me when really it's
You know what?
a negligible difference.
Yeah, you should not even stress about it, because it takes over 20 light for it to make even a bullet difference in even some guns.
So as long as you're over 315, you should be good to go.
Which I am. So I am good to go, and I'm excited. I was just wondering, like a bit of clarification. So only the armors that have been shown, like the class item and stuff, those are the only ones that are going to drop as rewards, right? I can't get like the PlayStation boots as a reward, or can I still?
No, they can all still
They
drop.
can all still drop. These are just showing what's going to be available from Saladin this time.
Okay. All right.
River, what is your take on this Iron Banner? Are you excited? Will you be playing it? And what do you think about these changes?
yes, and it's great. There's the one in particular. Like here, I had to get off the Hakon's hatchet. I was looking at it. I was going to talk about my roll on it real quick because that's what I got from the one iron banner.
Mhm.
It's got rangefinder, hidden hand, and injection mold. That's what I have it on.
Oh, nice.
It is sick.
Is this like a PvP weapon or is this a PvE weapon?
Yeah, it's a PvP, man. I like it. I'm sure it's not top tier, but it's pretty up there. It's very good. It's very reliable, and I just like the pace. I like the pacing of its shots whenever I hold down the trigger.
What is the profile like? What is it most similar to?
Let me go back because I was look. Okay, 1 second here.
Which gun are we talking about?
The hatchet.
The hatchet. Okay, first things first. There's a thing. Remove legendary engrams from the possible end of activity rewards list.
Yes.
So no more engrams. That is cool. So pretty much any drop that you're going to get is pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be an Iron Banner item. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Now, where is my weapons? Hatchon's Hackett. Wait. Hatchet. Hatchot. Yeah. I'm missing it.
Bobcat says he has the hatchet with crowd control and counterbalance. And
Ooh.
counterbalance seems to be a really excellent,
Mhm.
and really excellent perk.
Yes, it is. Let's see. It
The
looks
hatchet-
like it's.
The hatchet's a mid-rate of fire auto rifle.
Is it mid rate of fire? Because it's got
Yeah.
like this little bit
No,
missing at the top.
the bullet hose is literally almost not visible.
Oh, okay.
It's literally like a line that you can barely tell is even filled in. And then there's the
Mhm.
mid-rate of fire one, and then there's the high impact one.
So it's a pretty good
I mean, I
close
could
to
be
medium
wrong. I
range
don't-
auto rifle. It's looking like stability's not maxed, but I mean it's pretty excellent. I'm really liking it. 36 in the magazine is what I have, so I'll probably have to reload often, but it's got a pretty quick reload time. I like it. It's really good.
Now,
Awesome.
I would like to step back and address Crimson's question because I think we may have answered it incorrectly. When you play the Iron Banner, you can get any of the armor pieces to drop, but I think just one PlayStation piece is featured for each Iron Banner.
Probably.
I might be wrong about that, but as far as I think he specifically said the PlayStation legs. Well, I think the PlayStation class items exclusive are all that are going to be on the loot table this time from the PlayStation stuff. But as far as drops go, you can still get a helmet and boots and chest pieces and things.
Yeah, I was wondering about those PlayStation specific ones because I like those better than the generic
Just
Iron Banner.
is on the loot table, but I'm not 100% either way.
Got it. We
All right,
will
Remy.
find out and report back. Yes.
I actually have to go now. Baby's
No.
getting cranky, so I actually have to split kind of early right now.
Well, it's been a fun ride, River, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate everything that you've done for me in specific and Guardian One in general. You know, it's always an honor to have you here, and please don't hesitate if you have a week that you can make it. Know that you're on. Your spot is still here. Like your spot is still here. I'm not going to be filling it with anyone. You know, there is not another River out there waiting for it. So yeah, anytime you want to come back, your spot is waiting, kept warm and ready to go.
Oh,
Xbox
well,
is
thank you.
sorely underrepresented without you.
I know.
This is
You
very
guys need
true.
to fix that.
This is very true.
Once you
Sorely,
get Lawn Boy on there,
right?
they'll be for just a moment.
Right. Shout out, River.
Well, pretty much, all the listeners and the people that have really supported Guardian One. It's we wouldn't have a podcast without you guys. It's no point in having a podcast without people to listen and get feedback from. So I really appreciate every single one of you guys who have downloaded the podcast, watched the YouTube videos, or sent us an email, told us that we suck. That kind of stuff. It's the only way that we grow, and it's the only way we get better. And we really like to entertain you guys and kind of give you meaningful information. So, yeah, thank you. I love all of you.
That kicks ass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, River, you have a good one.
Yeah, you guys too. Take care.
Thanks for
We'll miss
being with us.
you.
Yes, sir.
See you, River.
See ya.
Yeah.
You know, I should have gone around the table and said if you guys had anything to say to him. Whoops. Man, that's
Well, I think
sad.
he kind of had to go for baby reasons anyway, and couldn't stand around right this second and listen to us do that.
That's true.
So.
That's true. You know what? Let's do that right now. Sharks, did you have anything to say to River? Like, he's going to be listening to this. Okay, so just to keep everybody up to date, River will still be encoding the audio for the podcast when it goes to iTunes, when it goes to your RSS feeds. He will still be encoding that, and next week we will be featuring a new Hollow River, a new and updated Hollow River for the place of housekeeping. So he's still going to be around in some form or fashion. I really miss him already, and I'm like getting choked up thinking about saying goodbye to him because that sucks. Even though he hasn't been here for weeks and weeks, it's always like, well, maybe he'll be here and maybe he won't, and now it's like, well, maybe he won't. That sucks. Okay, so for when he comes back to listen to this to check the audio for quality, Sharks, what would you like to say to River?
Well, obviously, I'm going to miss him because him and I always seem to be on the same wavelength. We always kind of are talking about the same stuff. We both have our own opinions, but I'm going to miss that about him. And of course, he's the only other one really in this group that is PvP like I am. So, but we'll see each other on PlayStation. But I'll miss you, River.
You know, it's crazy and it's funny and it's weird to think about. You were brought on because he had to go to every other week. Like I saw a place where he was definitely not going to be, and I invited you to be that opposite of him. And then your input is just it's just so useful. Having you come on every week is what really made sense. And now he's gone.
Well, yeah.
So
Now that Sharks is here, I only, I don't have to tell you all his good ideas and my good ideas on the podcast. I just can let him tell you his good ideas, but then, I don't get credit for them either.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Right. Agrios, what do you want to say to River as a parting goodbye to you?
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for, making my first podcasting experience a good one. I very much enjoyed our debates and conversations on the show, and I think he provided many good counterpoints to many of my points, and I kind of miss that. I think River often punctuated great counterpoints to my points, and I of course, as you all know, love debate. And so I definitely...
Is he just trying to save my feelings, or does he really want to be here, but he really does have other stuff going on at home, and it turns out, he's got real life stuff, and as much as he wants to participate in this, it's important for him to take care of that stuff. And really, he said you don't want to be put on a timeout in that house, so so this will probably help that greatly.
And lastly, I look forward to many more adventures with him on the new Guardian 1 G1 Fire teams. Is that what it is? Right?
Yeah,
G1 Fire.
and he wasn't on here. In the back of my mind, it was always sitting like, well, is he even interested in still doing this? Like, is he just trying to save my feelings? Or does he really want to be here, but he really does have other stuff going on at home, and it turns out, he's got real life stuff, and as much as he wants to participate in this, it's important for him to take care of that stuff. And really, he said you don't want to be put on a timeout in that house, so so this will probably help that greatly.
And lastly, I look forward to many more adventures with him on the new Guardian 1 G1 Fire teams. Is that what it is? Right?
Yeah,
G1
Fire team. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool. And that was like one of those silver linings, when he said to us internally that he was leaving. He also said that he was looking to stream more on these other certain days. So that will be really cool. Maybe we'll have a chance to catch up with him, do like a post pre podcast style conversation. I mean, all of the conversations have been great. Jez, you've been here since episode 1. We picked you up right before we started going live, and you've been here every single week, right? Or did you miss one?
I missed one.
You missed one. That's incredible. That's incredible. What would you like to say to River as a final farewell?
Well, since I'm a man of few words, I'll use what the words that I used before we went live, and you do you, boo.
I like it. I like it a lot. Crimson Warlock, you've been here since before we started broadcasting. Conversations that I wish that I had recorded, just you and me and River talking about what Destiny could be, and they were just such great conversations. And I never thought to record them beforehand because I thought, it'll just be us, dinking around. And it was always consistently fantastic to get together with you guys and have conversations. What would you like to say to River as he moves on to this new section of his life?
Well, first off, the only reason why I think Jez hasn't missed really many podcasts is because he doesn't have a family or significant others like the rest of us do.
Thanks the reminder.
You're welcome. The early days with River honestly felt a lot like the early days of Guardian Radio, and I do kind of wish that we had recorded those because that's really what it was. Guardian Radio is just a whole bunch of speculation, and River was really good at all the counterpoints that I had of my more MMO dreams of what Destiny could be, and hopefully what it can still be. And a lot of times he did bring me down to earth, and it was great just because back in those days I'd never played a Bungie game, so I really didn't know what to expect in a lot of different ways, and so it was really great. It's been great to get to know River a lot off podcast time and talk with him and chat with him and stuff, and he's become a really good friend, and I'm glad that I've been able to have this opportunity with all of you guys.
I agree. That's really great. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy to think, you really hit it on the head, like becoming friends with these people, specifically River. It's crazy to think that like he wouldn't be, we would not have done this show together if he hadn't reached out to me from the videos I made on YouTube. Same thing with you, Crimson Warlock. You reached out to me because you saw my videos, and so we put this thing together. And I feel like what we have is really magic. I really love doing the show. Really going to miss him as part of the show. It just seems too real now. Just seems too real.
One thing I do appreciate about River is once you get to know him, he's definitely one of those guys that he's got your back. He'll as much as he jokes around or might counter your ideas, talk you down. He's got your back. He's your friend for life. He's a great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Unilala, my hindsight is like amazing. Like my hindsight is way better than most people's hindsight. Like I have
He's got 10/10 hindsight.
I've got it's amazing, my hindsight. And you know what? And I wanted to become a comedian at some points in my life because I feel like some of the things that I say are funny, but when put to the test, I'm just not fast enough. I'm just not fast enough to be a comedian. You need to be able to be really quick with what you say, and I'm much more of in a writer's position where if I look at it for long enough, give me a couple of minutes, I'll come up with something funny. I'm just not fast enough. So
the best comebacks take 5 minutes.
Not for comedians though. Some people are crazy. Jeff Ross, man, where does that guy get it from? Okay, so sad. River's gone. Moving on. What do we got? Agrios?
So moving on, we next we had the Challenge of Elders. Last week, the combined score of all players that completed the Challenge of Elders reached a staggering 110,320,117,930 points. And they list the top 3 fire teams for the Challenge of Elders. The top score was performed by Epic Cookies, Epic Cookies, Aver, and SC Slayridge. SC Slayridge is well known in the community for performing many other great feats of soloing bosses and things well before anyone should be able to. Their top score was 79,570, which is quite amazing. Second place score was 63,860, so they were quite a bit above that, with the third place coming at 62,940. Now, the top two actually posted the four highest scores, but these are the top three different fire teams and their best scores.
Excellent.
So those are some pretty impressive scores. This week we have Catapult, Berserk, and a Grenade bonus. Last week we had the Precision bonus. With the new changes to the Voidwalker, they're really shining this week. Have you guys had a chance to experience the challenge this week, Remy?
So yes, I did one with you and was it Sharks? Yeah, I think it was you and Sharks.
Yes, right.
And I wasn't certain how much going into it, how much are they going to take the precision bonus points down? How much are they going to put the grenade bonus up? And I think that with the right build, and some people are naturally more, they use grenades more than other people. I tend to sit on mine until I until they go off. No, I tend to sit on them until there's like a really good use for them. But with the way it's set up, it's I don't know, it's fun to throw out grenades on even just a single person because of how fast they come back. Plus, I got that shadow price that had Grenadier, and that was really excellent. It's turning out that specific shadow price was really awesome. I tweeted out that it wasn't a great roll. For this specific challenge, it is a great roll. And I'm really liking the Prison of Elders. I'm really liking the loot system that goes along with that. I'm looking forward to getting that stuff done much more regularly. Like I was saying to you and Sharks, I want to do a thing where I want to get a rhythm going where we just, we set aside some hours, and it doesn't have to be the same time every week or whatever, but like I want to set aside some time so we can get some stuff done so that we can really move forward, especially with the way the loot system works. It's not just, do the raid or else you don't move forward. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do. I'm really looking forward to doing more Nightfalls. I really want my Mythoclast. Crimson Warlock, what do you think about this week's Challenge of Elders?
Oh, it's been very enjoyable for me. I've enjoyed it. Didn't like my hunter doing it much though. My hunter is not very well built and that has almost zero discipline. And so even with the recharge speed, I felt like I never had a grenade to throw ever. I played on all three classes, and for whatever reason, I got rid of my nothing manacles on my warlock, and I went to go buy some more, and I needed marks to purchase it, and not just a shard. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I have not been able to enjoy Void with two grenades in it, but I think three warlocks are just people that get it down are able to get grenade kills pretty easily. But three warlocks with Talix each and nothing manacles, I think they could get well over 90,000 in a run if they're well practiced. I got let's see, me and I think it was Jader and one other person earlier. We got 47,000 on one run with the grenade perks, so it's pretty doable to get all of your rewards in two runs this week as
Jader.
well, so it's awesome.
Derek Jader.
Me and River, we teamed up, and without even actually trying that hard, we managed to complete his card in 2 runs last week. This week, if you actually have the nothing manacles and whatnot, like you were referring to, you can actually throw. If you're making hits with your grenades, you can throw grenades faster. You regenerate grenades faster than you can throw them. Let me put it that way.
Man, that sounds
And
awesome.
And it seems the ideal build for this week, the ideal team build for this week's is a Sunsinger and 2 Voidwalkers. And instead of Fireborn, the Sunsinger runs Song of Radiance, even further speeding up grenades. So you just stand in a circle and check grenades the whole time till everything's dead.
That sounds awesome. Let's try that. Lawn Boy asks if Husk of the Pit is still a possible drop. I got one yesterday, so it definitely is a possible drop. Keep trying. I go to Fist of Crota, and that's where I get done most of my double kills, and that's definitely where I get done my like precision kills for the Arms Day weapons. I always go to Fist of Crota, and in there is that ultra or major knight. So definitely still a possibility. Keep at it. Jez, what do you think about the Challenge of Elders this week? What do you think about Challenge of Elders in general?
It's nice, but it's still Challenge of Elders. I like it better than Prison of Elders just because it's faster.
It is faster.
And I like the bosses. However, the bosses that they added seem to be all just no mechanics, just bosses.
This is
So
true.
it's kind of boring that way. Like
Yeah.
I got excited that they said, "Oh yeah, we're adding 3 new bosses," and they're nothing like the Prison of Elders bosses they already had. There was that the what's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
The
The
Cabal one
Hydra.
this week.
Centurion one?
What about
No,
the Cabal one?
The Cabal one has no mechanics. It just summons
no,
ads after ads.
No, there's the
No.
Scion Flayers.
Oh, you have to kill the Scion for the right burn.
He's invincible until you kill the Scion Flayer with the matching shield type.
Oh, I never got that.
That's in
So
COE
Yeah,
this
when you
week.
clock in, it says he's protected by the Void Scion Flayer right now, or whatever, and he glows purple, and the Scion Flayer grows purple, and you got to go, and he'll be completely invulnerable till you kill that Scion Flayer.
And the other Scion Flowers are invulnerable until it's
Right, you
their
have to kill the
turn.
glowing Scion Flayer first. So you basically, people are running in, they're killing the 3 Scion Flayers in order. First one, whatever one's glowing, you kill it. Then the next one will start glowing, you kill it. And the next one will start glowing, you kill it, and then everything's normal.
well, I
interesting.
can't really call to that one because I didn't do Challenge of Elders this week because I was kind of let down a little bit, especially with the loot. So I was like, I don't really want to do it. It's too much work for what I felt was getting nothing back.
So I feel like it's very little work, actually.
Why don't you tell us about it, Agrios?
I agree that is not the challenge of Elders. I think it's it's pretty easy of Elders. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm running with guys who are experienced. Like, I guess maybe taking it from a noob's perspective, like I could see maybe it being a little more difficult because you just had to figure out all the mechanics. But for someone who knows how all these creatures already operate, it's a breeze. I won't say it's not fun, but I have a feeling it might get old quickly. Fortunately, there's 16 weeks of different ones that they're going to keep changing up. Now, I could see how they could turn it into a challenge with the right modifiers. I mean, we've gotten pretty beneficial modifiers so far, but that might be their plan, to start easy and work toward the hardest modifiers, thus allowing people in the community who maybe aren't completely top of their game to either get caught up or, at least get some of these rewards before things to get to be too difficult for some groups to complete, like Skullus was at first from Prison of Elders. Like right now we have the Catapult last week, we had a beneficial one as well. If next week we had something like, Arc Burn and Exposure, it might be a much different story as far as how easy it is to complete the challenge of the Elders. But then you run the risk of, the rewards not being worth people's efforts. But, there's something to be said about just accomplishing something. I think they helped as far as the accomplishing something goes with the high score award. Them, publicizing that, I think, is a good angle to it. But I'm kind of at, it's not bad. I've had fun playing it so far. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Sharks, what about you? Challenge of Elders.
The only challenge I've had is lag issues in a hotel. It's not challenging. No, seriously. No, I like it. I love it. It's something that's a lot more fun to play with 3 people. but it's something that you can go in there and play by yourself, and then it is a challenge. I went in there with Gurufu earlier. She had a 312 character that we went in on, and I was on my with my setup, I had 332 character, and I mean, she had to go. She had to take our dog outside. And I was like, "That's okay. I'll do this round." So I was doing that round. But when she came back, it just it's entertaining. I think it's great. And I do honestly believe that uh, that we will get stuff happening later on, maybe burns or who knows what, where the challenges are going to be a lot harder. And they are doing that, and they're doing it because they know that a lot of people are going to be top tier level at that point, and it's going to be challenging. Don't take it for granted. Get out there and do it now. Get your drops, and if you're having problems or you're finding it too challenging, i.e., people like Jez,
I'm not finding
message
it
people.
challenging.
Well,
I'm
but
just
if you
finding the
if you're
drops are bad.
well, if the job is but if you go in there and just do them over and over again with people, like jump in there with Agros and I, we'll run you through a whole bunch in a half hour, and you'll get drops, and then you can raise your gear up if you want to. I don't know. I find it fun. I think it's great. So
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it, especially when you look at it, like both you guys were saying that it moves quickly. Man, level 41 Prison of Elders is just like a slog. Like I think that's part of the reason it didn't catch on more with me when it was the go-to activity. It's just here's 3 rounds, here's 3 rounds, here's 3 rounds, here's 3 rounds, here's 3 rounds. Like it just was so much. And now this, I feel like this goes by perhaps too quickly. Maybe there's some nice middle ground that we can establish. And when they first announced it, I was, I don't want to say I was scared, but I was definitely scared. Like they made it seem like it was going to be, if you're not 330, don't even try coming in here. I haven't thought about light level going into that once. Like I was doing the 41 with somebody, and then they're like, well, Challenge of Elders is even easier than this. And I said to them, Challenge of Elders is even easier than this. How is that possible? And then we went and did it, and it was just easy. You know what though? With that easy came fun. Like, because I wasn't stressed out of my brain trying to dismantle mines and all this other stuff. Like, it just was kind of a real fun trying to get the top score. I really liked that for some reason. The challenge was killing these enemies in a manner that was going to get you more points. So it wasn't necessarily a challenge of their skill, their AI, or the parameters. It was more working within those parameters to get a high score.
And I think that's a good angle, but I would like, if that is the angle, I would like to see more repercussions other than the top 3 teams posted in the weekly update. I would like to see you actually get a potentially a better roll on your prize for, getting higher brackets or more rewards for getting higher brackets of a high score. I'd actually like to see the difference between the lowest score and the highest score, rewarded to the people who go out and actually try to make that high score. I think we'd see a lot more competition and response from the community as far as that high score goes if there was some sort of ramification from actually getting a higher than just, crossing the line high score. And I think you kind of, inadvertently stated part of the main problem, I think, with the Challenge of Elders right now. When you said, as far as your light level goes, you didn't even think about it once. And I think that's it. I think that, we go in there, we run around willy-nilly destroying stuff and get through it no problem. Like, there's no point that the 3 of us need to make a tactic. Yeah, we can make a little bit of a tactic to do the whole run more efficiently or quicker or something, but at no point do we need to work together as a team to make a tactic to accomplish a goal. It's run around, kill stuff, and revive people if they die.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on.
Moving on. So not much else to say this week. They do clarify. They did manage to get the Sterling packages that were missing out to individuals last week. They had the final day of the week last week to be able to claim those, and they clarify this week that there are only supposed to be 3 Sterling Treasure Awards per week per account, not not the multiples that some people were lucky enough to be able to get themselves upwards of 6 last week because of the postmaster issues. They also say, additionally, Bungie.net clan migration is coming soon. The clan leaderboards that they announced previously in a weekly update are going to be functioning once the process has taken place. The leaderboards are there, but they're currently just showing your own statistics. In preparation, though, they say to be sure a group founder or a group admin is a member of the clan, as they will act as a clan captain. If it's not done, the clan will not be migrated to a later date. The movie of the week this week was The Glimmer Shot by Double Experience. This is a Destiny rock song, and it's actually pretty well done. It's a good video. I'll tell you what, this kind of reminded me of the some of the songs that they use in the front of some of like the anime type shows and things like that. And what I felt like at some points was that I was watching the opening credits for like a half hour long Destiny show, and I think that more than anything else kind of got me excited about the video is that I felt like it was like the beginning of one of these Americanized animes, and something like that. So what did you guys think about the videos this week?
It was awesome. I didn't watch the other two. I just watched that first one. It was really
I highly
great.
recommend the second one too. The second one's an excellent one. It's a nice. It's actually the first episode of a series they plan to be doing. It's a kind of a comedy look at a Guardian's journey through Destiny.
Awesome. I will definitely check it out. But the song was really well done. There was one part in the middle where it was like video of a real person, but it was like a bad lip sync, and so I don't know why they included that because everything
what?
else was really awesome.
It was mirror imaging, kind of mocking the Paul McCartney video for his Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That would
they
be
just
funny.
superimposed him over
As a
Paul
hologram in the
McCartney.
tower projected by a ghost.
Okay.
They just superimposed him over Paul McCartney. He moves a few times, and you're like, I can see Paul McCartney behind you. It was funny.
So that was definitely a comedy nod to Paul McCartney's terrible Destiny video, frankly.
I really liked the music to that Paul McCartney video.
Video is hell.
Yeah, the music was really good. But yeah, this double XP, I'm really happy that they got featured. I followed them. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they have to say. Some of the writing was really good. I don't remember what the line of the song is right now, but it was awesome. So congratulations to them for kicking ass. Crimson Warlock, what did you think?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually think I listened to it 3 times during work today. It was really well done. Like I honestly was like, to me it sounded like a group that should have had an album out already. Like they're really well polished. It was really enjoyable to listen to.
Awesome. Jez?
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty good. Pretty well done. Pretty good done. Yes, good English.
You're known for your pretty good English. Sharks?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the videos. In fact, I really enjoyed Cosmo's update this week too, because Cosmo did everything. It wasn't anything on Deej this week. No diss on Deej. I love Deej, but Cosmo did a really good job this week with both videos and the writing. So yeah, it was good. If you
Not
haven't
only
checked it out,
that,
go check it out.
not only that, but he put it out super early too. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really
He
cool.
knows not to upset people. He's awesome. Yeah, he's great.
I agree. Great job, Cosmo. You are kicking some ass. Agrios, and then moving on.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I already pretty much gave all my feelings as far as, it gave me that feeling that it should have been in the beginning of like, like a an anime-esque show, about Destiny. Um, and they finish up the April update or finish up their discussion this week with saying that the April update, or the Taken Spring, as the community has lovingly named it, has been a lot of fun. And I enjoyed the fact that Bungie so willingly adopted the name that the community has given the update right off the bat. It was actually the second most upvoted post on Reddit this week, was somebody saying that this is what we should call it. So I like that. Like I like Bungie's sort of willingness to have a kind of open, receptive sense of humor about those sort of things, and just come out and be like, "Yeah, taking spring sounds good to us." Like a lot of other companies, I think, are a lot more sort of tight-assed about that sort of attitude.
Yeah, I don't know how you breed that into your company either. Like there's a lot of times when I'll see something Bungie is doing that I would even think to myself, if I was part of a large company, I would not have done that. So I don't know where is the balance. They seem to have found it really well. Continue.
So yeah, I'd like to give credit to the guy Platitudes is the guy who posted this a week ago on the Reddit, on the subreddit, and his only comment to saying that we should call that, it was the flavor text from the comedian Shotgun. So props to him for popularizing this name.
I like it. I like it a lot. Continuing.
Well, that's all I got for you this week. There has been a interesting development with the release of the April update. Kind of a cryptic situation happened last week. There's a new dead ghost that can be found in the updated Prison of Elders, and 17 minutes after the update dropped, someone posted its location on the Destiny subreddit. Now, mind you, this is 17 minutes after they released the update into the wild. Everyone's, has to download this. So someone got in, downloaded it, and in order to get this ghost, would have had to have finished the level 41 Prison of Elders. So it's highly unlikely, someone could have accomplished all this in 17 minutes. Upon people getting the ghost and looking at the Grimoire card for the ghost, came to realize that the Grimoire card was about someone named Razil Azir, the very name of the Redditor who made this post 17 minutes after the update launched. The account was then deleted, as though it never existed, though it was created over 4 months ago with that name. The only other comment made by Razil Azir on the subreddit was a Latin quote that I am not even going to try to say, but translated means the 20th day of the 9th month. It is coming. Forward to the stars. So awesome. This is an interesting ARG that seems to be created. If you do go looking into it, there was, however, a follow-up masterful follow-up hoax performed by someone named Absence Vigil on the Bungie.net forums. So don't get lulled into anything false there. But this is an interesting development.
So wait, I read that Cosmos said that it was a hoax. He's talking about that separate one?
He was not very clear, which leads me even more to believe that Bungie is up to something. But he did say that the Absence Vigil person on BNet was not a Bungie employee.
Okay.
That was not that. But he never clarified that the original Razil Al-Zir post on Reddit was not Bungie or anything like that. So
gotcha.
He didn't go into extreme detail, just simply stated that Absence Vigil was not Bungie.
Got it. Very cool. Very cool. 20th day of the 9th month. Sounds about right.
September 20th, in fact, is a Tuesday.
Got it. Excellent. Thank you very much for this, Agrios. I think that's it. I think that's all we have time for today. I think it's time to do shout outs, unless anybody else has anything they want to add to this podcast. Agrios, do you have anything else you want to add to this podcast?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Then then shout outs starting with you, Sharks.
My shout out goes to my wife, Gurufu. We went down to San Diego for a wedding, for a vacation, and she let me bring my PlayStation with me. So shout out to her.
That's awesome. Excellent. Agrios.
My shout out goes to River. I think I said everything I really had to say about him before when you went around the circle, so I'm not going to continue to gush about him at this point. But, thanks for being here and thanks for, remaining a part of the podcast, even though you can't, you're too cool to hang with us here now.
Right. Too cool to hang at this point. I like it. Jez.
Jeez, I never have any good shout outs, so I'm terrible at this. So shout out to River, because I hope he gets back soon.
It's I hope he gets back soon too. That would be really great. It's funny, Jez, because you've only missed one episode of this podcast, and it's not like I feel like once you're done with this podcast right now, you just totally purge your memory of that you ever do this at all. But every week you're the first person that answers the call, and you have so consistently. And so you'd think that at some point you would have come up with a good shout out like throughout your week. Like maybe there's, somebody that you work with that's really cool, or you ran into somebody on the street, or there's a performer, somebody on the internet that you really like. You'd think that you would have come up with something by now.
No, I'm entirely devoid of everything that's referential, I think.
Yeah.
So every time I compartmentalize everything.
Well, you know what? It seems to be working for you.
Mildly.
Crimson Warlock.
I can actually give out several shout outs this week, but I think I'm going to shout out to a Guardian that I know pretty well. I know him as Splash Bear, but some of you guys might know him as Sir Phoenix Knight on PlayStation. He's just a great Guardian. He's always willing to help out, does a lot of stuff with another group I affiliate myself with, and we're just having a lot of fun, and thanks, Splash Bear. You're freaking awesome.
Excellent. My shout out this week is going to Noodle. Noodle is my best friend. Yesterday was her 70th birthday. She's my dog, for those who don't know. Picked her up when I was, nary 28 years old, and 10 years have passed. And really, if you were considering having kids in your life, it would be a really good idea to get a dog, just so you know what it is to have a responsibility to something that is not yourself. Prior to getting Noodle, I just did whatever the hell I wanted to do, and then after getting her, she has to be walked, she has to be fed, she has to be loved, and so it really, having her in my life has really made me a better person, and she's such a sweet dog, and I love her so much. And I tweeted out a picture of her just a little bit ago. If you're interested in looking at her, she is a some kind of a cross between a Chihuahua, an Italian Greyhound, and a Pit Bull. This is what she is. So the image in your brain is probably the correct one. So I love you, Noodle. I love you so much. I'll see you in just a little bit when I go to walk you. And that wraps up episode 80. I would like to thank everyone listening for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics to be discussed on the show, please leave them in the comments below or send them to feedback@guardian1.net, and we will see you next week.